There's nothing quite like the overwhelming joy of walking through your front door after a long, stressful day and being greeted by a companion whose tail is wagging so violently their entire body shakes right before they cover your face in sweet, sloppy puppy kisses. For almost every pet parent on Earth, these wet greetings are accepted as the ultimate, undeniable expression of pure love and emotional affection. But what if I told you that a significant percentage of canine licking has absolutely nothing to do with love? What if the hidden reality is that when your dog pins your arm down to obsessively lick your skin for 10 minutes straight, or when they frantically lick the living room carpet, the sides of the couch, or even the empty air, they are actually screaming for your help? As dedicated pet parents, we live in constant fear of missing a critical medical red flag simply because our dogs cannot look us in the eye and say, "My stomach is burning," or "I'm having an intense panic attack." Instead, they are forced to communicate through raw, instinctive body language. Today, we are decoding the secret language of your dog's tongue to reveal the exact scientific boundary where a happy companion kiss transforms into a dangerous medical warning sign. To truly diagnose when your dog's licking shifts from affection into a genuine crisis, we must first understand the biological programming behind the habit. When a puppy is first born into a litter, their mother immediately licks them to clean their fur, offer emotional comfort, and physically stimulate their respiratory breathing. Because of this primal early development, the act of licking is permanently hardwired into the canine brain as an automated, self-soothing mechanism. On top of that, dogs are naturally drawn to the salty taste of human sweat and skin oils. So if your companion offers a few gentle licks on your hand when you sit down or cleans your cheek during a calm cuddle session, you are witnessing perfectly normal pack grooming behavior and social bonding. But a pathological medical lick, a true behavioral red flag, looks entirely different from these peaceful displays. I want you to picture a highly specific, distressing scenario. Your dog is resting next to you, and suddenly, they begin repetitively smacking their lips, swallowing hard, and frantically gulping down dry air. They might lung toward your arm, but it isn't a gentle kiss. It is an obsessive, frantic, unstoppable motion. If you pull away, they immediately redirect that frantic energy onto the floorboards, the drywall, or the carpet, their eyes looking completely wide, frantic, or entirely zoned out. In the veterinary world, this sudden behavioral shift is known as a canine lick fit, and it is a massive, immediate indicator of internal physical distress. This brings us directly to the silent mechanics of stomach pain, nausea, and gastrointestinal inflammation. When a human experiences severe heartburn or sudden nausea, we can easily open a medicine cabinet and take an antacid pill to soothe the burn. Your dog obviously lacks that luxury. When a canine suffers from severe acid reflux, a burning upper stomach, or sudden nausea, their biological programming commands them to swallow repeatedly to force the rising gastric acid back down into the gut. But to swallow continuously, their body requires a massive, immediate influx of lubrication. How does a canine generate an immense volume of thick saliva in a matter of seconds? By licking any surface in front of them with absolute fury. Because dog saliva is naturally highly alkaline, it functions as a biological antacid. When your dog is obsessively licking your leg, the kitchen tiles, or the sofa cushions, they are desperately trying to coat their raw esophagus and neutralize the burning chemical acid in their stomach. This distressing nausea is almost universally linked to chronic intestinal inflammation, frequently referred to as leaky gut syndrome, or increased intestinal permeability. Inside your dog's small intestine lies a delicate cellular barrier made of millions of tiny epithelial cells packed incredibly tight together. This lining acts as a strict security checkpoint, allowing digested nutrients to pass safely into the bloodstream while completely blocking harmful pathogens, environmental toxins, and undigested food particles. However, if a dog is fed a highly processed diet, experiences chronic household stress, or has undergone heavy rounds of synthetic antibiotics, that intestinal barrier becomes severely inflamed, causing the tight gaps between the cells to stretch wide open. The gut becomes leaky. Suddenly, toxic bacteria and completely unrefined food proteins leak directly into your dog's systemic bloodstream, causing their immune system to fire an internal alarm. Their entire abdomen enters a state of painful, bloated panic. Their singular, desperate tool to self-soothe this ongoing gastrointestinal torment is frantic, obsessive licking. If your companion is waking up in the dead of night to execute these frantic behaviors or repeating them immediately after every single meal, it is a clear warning sign that their internal gut microbiome is severely compromised. But what if your trusted veterinarian runs complete blood panels, conducts thorough abdominal exams, and declares that your dog is physically 100% healthy? Why are they still pinning you down to lick your hands for 20 straight minutes with completely glazed look in their eyes? This is where we cross from internal medicine into advanced canine anxiety. Licking does not just chemically soothe an irritated stomach. It deeply alters the chemistry of the canine brain. When a dog licks a surface continuously, their central nervous system triggers a heavy, immediate flood of feel-good endorphins and dopamine. It creates a powerful, self-induced calming effect that acts almost like a natural narcotic against mental distress. If a dog is quietly suffering from severe separation anxiety, panicking over a passing thunderstorm, adjusting to a brand new home, or simply experiencing chronic mental boredom from severe understimulation, They will deploy licking as their primary emotional coping mechanism. It is the exact evolutionary equivalent of a stressed human biting their fingernails down to the bleeding quick when they are overwhelmed. If left unchecked, this behavior can easily solidify into canine compulsive disorder, an extreme psychological state where the dog becomes utterly addicted to the dopamine release of the action. They will systematically lick a gaping hole right through your clean bedding or relentlessly chew their own paws until they create deep, bleeding, infected tissue ulcers known as acrolick granulomas. Before we dive into the practical, vet-approved home remedies to heal these deep-seated issues, we must address an immediate safety warning that could save your dog's life tonight. You must never, under any circumstances, allow your companion to lick your bare skin if you routinely use topical medical skin creams. In veterinary emergency rooms worldwide, this is a tragically common and absolutely devastating scenario. Well-meaning pet parents apply a prescription ointment before bed, lay down to rest, and allow their loving dog to lick their arm or leg as a greeting. If you utilize prescription hormone replacement or topical estrogen creams, the dog absorbing those chemicals through their tongue will suffer from sudden, catastrophic bone marrow suppression and severe hair loss. If you use localized psoriasis creams containing calcipotriene, even a few brief licks will cause an immediate massive spike in your dog's blood calcium levels, throwing them straight into acute, fatal kidney failure. Even standard over-the-counter arthritis or joint pain gels containing diclofenac or Voltaren can trigger fatal, bleeding stomach ulcers in canine biology within less than 24 hours. This reality is not meant to cause unnecessary panic. It is designed to give you absolute protective knowledge. If you apply any topical medications, cover the area with thick, long sleeves immediately and completely enforce the zero-tolerance policy for skin licking. Now, let us pivot toward the practical, proactive solutions to protect and heal your companion right from the comfort of your home. Tip number 1 is to completely eliminate any form of verbal or physical punishment. If you discover your dog having an intense lick fit on your living room rug, screaming at them, spraying them with water, or aggressively shoving them away is the worst action you can take. They are not acting out of malice. They are trapped in a physical panic attack or enduring internal burning pain. Adding human anger to an already terrified animal will only skyrocket their cortisol and amplify the behavior. Tip number 2 is to intelligently redirect their natural drive using safe, structured licking. Since we understand that licking releases soothing dopamine, we can use this brain chemistry to our absolute advantage. The moment your dog displays anxious or frantic licking, redirect them to a textured, medical-grade silicone lick mat. Smear the surface with a shallow layer of organic pumpkin puree, plain unsweetened yogurt, or pure 100% xylitol-free peanut butter, and place it in the freezer. Xylitol is an artificial sweetener found in many household brands that is highly toxic to dogs, so always audit your labels. A frozen lick mat forces your dog to focus their mind for 30 continuous minutes to clean the grooves, safely exhausting their brain, satisfying their dopamine craving, and instantly calming their nervous system without destroying your home. Tip number 3 is to proactively soothe and rebuild the lining of the gut. If you suspect their frantic behavior is rooted in chronic acid reflux or early-stage leaky gut, you can begin the cellular healing process immediately. Introduce a high-potency, canine-specific probiotic into their daily meals to aggressively repopulate their digestive system with beneficial, protective bacteria. Additionally, incorporate a few daily tablespoons of pure, unsalted bone broth into their bowl, ensuring the recipe is completely free of toxic onions or garlic. For an extra layer of gastrointestinal repair, add a fine sprinkle of thoroughly crushed raw pumpkin seeds to their food, which provides essential fatty acids and minerals that coat and protect the intestinal walls. Finally, tip number 4 is knowing exactly when to stop home remedies and call a medical professional. If your dog experiences a brief lick fit once every few months because they accidentally scavenged some trash in the yard, home redirection and dietary adjustments are perfectly sufficient. However, if this frantic, obsessive licking is a daily occurrence, if it keeps them pacing the hallways at night unable to rest, or if it is accompanied by acute vomiting and diarrhea, your dog is actively begging you for clinical intervention. Modern veterinary medicine possesses highly effective, safe treatments that can instantly neutralize stomach acid, halt acute nausea, and quiet severe generalized anxiety, bringing your companion immediate physical peace. Our dogs speak a highly advanced, deeply beautiful silent language. Every obsessive lick, every tail position, and every unique habit is a physical sentence they are desperately trying to communicate to your heart. When you take the intentional time to decode their world, understanding that a frantic lick is not a quirky habit but a serious plea for comfort, you become the ultimate hero of your dog's story. If this masterclass completely changed how you view your companion's behavior today, please hit that like button to help push this critical information to pet parents who may have a dog suffering in silence. Subscribe to our channel for daily canine behavioral insights, and drop a comment down below to tell us all about your dog's unique quirks. Protect them fiercely, love them deeply, and we will see you in the very next video.